I feel worse than yesterday, but like I said, it was unfair to leave you for so long. So I'm gonna give it a shot. The Difference Between Knowing and Understanding by Bane-Black. This is a Jaskier, a Vesemir fic. Not something I'd usually go for, but I read a couple Hannah hacky fics and it just fit the vibe. Jaskier falls for Vesemir in a single winter. Feeling betrayed by his own heart, he tries to ignore it. That only works until the petals start to fall. Is this feeling worth dying for? He'd known just after a single winter at Cameron that he was in love with Vesemir. It was entirely unfair how quickly his heart had betrayed him. It made things work that had shown little to zero interest. Hell, aside from the occasional academically fueled conversation which he savoured. Sorry, a friend. Aside from the occasional academically fueled conversation which he savoured, he barely acknowledged his existence. So I'm probably gonna have to edit that out later because I don't want her name shown. So if this has CapCut things on it, sorry, but I'm not gonna have a name up. So come spring, he continued on his way with Geralt as usual, assuming that he could pack his feelings away and not think about it too much due to being away from the man himself, just as he'd done in the past. Unfortunately, he quickly came to realise it wasn't like in the past. His feelings seemed to be constantly spilling out of their little cage. The sheer mental focus to stuff them down left him exhausted after just a month on the path. Geralt complained endlessly about him holding him up to hide his worry. Then, of course, the guilt came crashing down on him for worrying his friend to such a degree. After that, he came to a conclusion. He needed to stop clamping down so hard on his feelings. So he started putting less pressure on himself, and to be honest, he was happier acknowledging him than he was ignoring them, and it stayed that way for a couple of months. Of course, things changed. He started longing for the man. Sorry, need a minute. Right, yes, sorry, back. Started longing for the man, just to be in his presence, to talk even. If he was in the mood for talking, that is. Then slowly it started to become a painful type of longing, a distraction that could be dangerous considering the life he leads alongside Geralt. So he clamped back down on the feelings and accepts that he would never feel the same. That's when the cough started. The thing about Hannah Hacky is everyone knows that sometimes it isn't truly unrequited love. The inflicted thinks that it's unrequited. But they don't know how damning it feels when the first petal drops. The realization might kill you alone. Sorry. Like it might just be better to end it quickly than to ever consider facing him. Like having your feelings literally growing inside you is simultaneously the best and worst feeling you've ever experienced. Like the chance to understand what it's like to be in love is worth dying for. Most of the time, the latter wins out. He hides it from Geralt as long as he can. It takes 2 weeks to figure out he has Hannah Hacky. He demands to know who it is. He refuses. He refused. He dragged him to Yennefer. He was told he has 4 months. It was more than he expected. It was 2 months until they were supposed to be at Cameron. He was going to die there. That felt right. Poetic, even. The trip to Cameron was harder this time. Cameron was harder this time. He was exhausted. He exhausted quicker with his feelings spilling from his lungs. Geralt never stopped demanding who. He was in pain, constant pain. It was worth it. He saw Lambert and Eskel when they arrived. He almost immediately went to the library. He didn't expect to find Vesemir there. He didn't expect him to ask about his music. He didn't expect that once the conversation started, it wouldn't stop until he fell asleep on him. He didn't expect to wake up on his shoulder. He didn't expect just to start to try and apologize just to be kissed. There was a difference between knowing and understanding, and he's proud to experience this firsthand. Sorry. Really. I'll try and keep the uploads more frequent, even if I'm not feeling particularly well. So, thank you for listening. The link to the fic's always in the description. So, have a nice night.